Ooh, that's a hand to the neck, and then Alyssa Thomas steps over.
Guys, hello, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Geneva. This is Geneva in General. Guys, it is currently approximately 9:40 a.m. I want to do this video, okay, before I hit Planet Fitness, do my cardio and leg day routine. My legs already hurt. They're already tired and sore from working out this entire, from Monday. Again, I'm running 3 miles a day and working out every single day for the next 2 weeks and just eating everything that I want to eat at home. Like, no more door dashing, no more fast food, junk food, no more eating from restaurants. I have to make food here at the crib. Again, I just got done eating a bowl of oatmeal and had some coffee. But guys, we got to get into it. It seems as though there's a new rivalry in town as it pertains to the WNBA. Speaking of the WNBA, guys, tonight, I'm so tired of these late night games. Again, I've been trying to work out, again, like I said, early in the mornings, okay, to get my workout over with. But I am interested and will be watching and calling tonight's game at 10 p.m., so late, when it comes to the Dallas Wings taking on the Las Vegas Aces. Again, the Dallas Wings beat the Las Vegas Aces in their previous matchup like over a week ago. So I want to see if, the Las Vegas Aces can, maintain some composure. Because, again, they just got beat by the New York Liberty the other day, okay, at home. And tonight's game will be at the Las Vegas Aces home court. Guys, it seems as though there is a new rivalry in town in the WNBA, and that rivalry is between the Indiana Fever and the Phoenix Mercury. Because, again, it's not just about what happened in last night's game. We got to go back in time. Was it Monday? I believe it was Monday night where we saw the first matchup between the Indiana Fever and the Phoenix Mercury. Was low-key, it was a knuck if you buck type of situation, okay? It was so many memes. DeWanna Bonner and Sophie Cunningham got into a pointing contest. A lot of people see this as disrespect. Like, if you point or, jab your finger in their face, you ain't even got to be, really close to them. You can just point at them like this. This is like a sign of aggression, okay? This is, universal. It's like you, when you point at people. And Sophie Cunningham and DeWanna Bonner, it was getting to that point, okay? And then Maisha Hines-Allen, she was shouting. And, I believe in that game, Caitlin Clark got a technical for clapping. It was a whole lot of aggression, and foolishness. But in that game, the Indiana Fever beat the Phoenix Mercury. Now, in last night's game, guys, the Phoenix Mercury beat the Indiana Fever by 2 points. I was not able to watch that entire game. I was watching the Golden State Valkyries whoop the Atlanta Dream, okay? Like an hour after the Indiana Fever versus Phoenix Mercury game. And the Phoenix Mercury player, being Alyssa Thomas, a.k.a. they literally call this woman the Train. Okay, they call her the Train for a reason. She literally, again, I'm going to insert the video prior to my commentary. She literally took her fist and, hit Caitlin Clark in the neck. I believe this occurred in the third quarter of the game. And, you can see, Caitlin Clark, I know people say, she be flopping. But no, guys, again, Alyssa Thomas is listed as 6'2", 205 pounds. That woman is pure muscle, okay? She has far more strength, than the average woman, okay? She obviously is, bigger and stronger than Caitlin Clark. I believe, that contact that her fist made, she literally pretty much punched her in the neck area. I believe she was in pain. But to me, what was crazy is that they said that Caitlin Clark actually exited out of that game due to a back injury. So, again, to me, it looked like she had, made far more impact to her neck, but obviously, they kind of, pummeled her to get to the ball. They wanted to regain possession of the basketball, and they all just decided to pummel. It was not just Alyssa Thomas. I believe it was another Phoenix Mercury player. And, you just saw Caitlin Clark hit the deck pretty hard, and then she got punched in the neck. Let's be real. Again, Alyssa Thomas is known for her physicality and her physical playmaking abilities and her strength. Again, they call her the Train. Okay, Thomas the Train for a reason. And it's the fact that they didn't want to review that and call that a flagrant foul, perhaps a flagrant 2 on Alyssa Thomas, it gets to a point, guys. It's getting ridiculous, and the fans is mad, okay? WNBA fans, you don't even got to be a Caitlin Clark fan, an Indiana Fever fan. Again, I'm the type of person, I always say on my channel, I love aggression, I love assertiveness, I like, a little bit of passion with the plays. But it gets to a point where it's beyond basketball. That was not a basketball play or basketball move. If she wanted to gain that ball and regain possession of the ball, she didn't have to throw her fist into Caitlin Clark's neck. And, when you have things like this, situations like this is when you see Caitlin Clark fans, Indiana Fever fans are blatantly calling out the refs, the WNBA as a whole, commissioner being Kathy Engelbert, and they're like, you know what? It seems as though Caitlin Clark is being targeted by certain players, or maybe even the league as a whole. Guys, this article is brought to you by Essentially Sports, titled WNBA Fans Blast the Officiating After Alyssa Thomas's punch to Caitlin Clark's throat is Caught on Camera. And it reads, just over 3 minutes into the second quarter, so actually, I'm sorry, this actually happened in the second quarter, not the third, Clark decided to attack the basket as she looked to create a scoring opportunity, but the Fever guard slipped inside the paint and found herself on the floor surrounded by 3 Mercury defenders. And that's when the whole controversy unfolded. As Clark remained on the court, Thomas jumped into the action in an attempt to secure the possession. However, after the ball was already rolling free on the court, cameras caught the Mercury veteran driving her fist into the 24-year-old's neck before stepping over her. That's another thing. She didn't even show no concern. But then again, it's Alyssa Thomas, aka Thomas the Train. When does she ever show concern after literally physically brutalizing another player on the court? I'll wait. She hardly ever does, right? It says, now this whole mess unfolded in plain sight, but officials allowed the game to continue without calling a foul, okay? It says, but this kind of hostility between the two teams didn't come out of nowhere, because just 2 days earlier, their matchup descended into chaos after Caitlin Clark and DeWanna Bonner got into a verbal altercation after tangling up while battling for position late in the fourth quarter. That whole sequence ended up in 5 technical fouls and an ejection. Again, I'm not even going to read to you all the comments that people are posting on Twitter and underneath the video, okay, of the game that occurred last night between the Phoenix Mercury and the Indiana Fever. The fans are peed off. And again, I understand it because, again, even me, I'm not an Indiana Fever fan, but I do like Caitlin Clark, okay? You got to respect and acknowledge her talents and her abilities and her skill and playmaking abilities. And again, people are getting tired of, so to speak, the bullies of the WNBA. And Alyssa Thomas is like low-key like at the front of the class. She is like the #1 bully, so to speak, when it comes to the WNBA. And a lot of people kind of like just laugh it off like, oh, that's just, AT, that's just how she is. She came up from another generation, another time back in the day. I believe even Alyssa Thomas herself said it in an interview. She said it was her mom who coached her to play dirty. She literally said her mom coached her to play dirty, be a dirty basketball player. So, it's like she has just this reputation of being just physical, having that, superior strength to a lot of the players on the court, and she uses that to her advantage, okay, and she will bulldoze you. She'll bulldoze you over. And a lot of people are just sick of it. Because, again, that was uncalled for. Caitlin Clark already has been reportedly having back issues all throughout this season. Remember last season she only played 13 games due to that left groin injury, or left groin strain, I believe. And she was out for the remainder of the season. She was out for like the majority of the last season. And now, early in this season, she already missed the game. That was a whole controversial, thing when she missed the game due to a back injury and having back pain, back stiffness, soreness, etc., etc. And then in last night's game, she literally had to leave the court and never come back due to another painful back injury after Alyssa Thomas literally drove her fist into her neck and then just stepped over her like she didn't even care. Again, it's simply not a good look, okay, for the Alyssa Thomas to be doing this. At some point, yeah, like the league got to investigate the refs, because like how did they not catch that? How did y'all not see that and actually like, give Alyssa Thomas a flagrant? I'm like, that's beyond a common foul. But guys, please comment down below your thoughts on this entire situation. Again, hopefully Caitlin Clark is better. Hopefully her, her back will be fine. But yeah, Alyssa Thomas, people are getting tired of you, okay, and your dirty plays.